Hello everyone and welcome back. This video is part 3 of Microsoft Excel Made Easy Module 1. Today I'm going to discuss the following topics. Number 1, Excel data types. Number 2, how to enter formula. Number 3, precedence of operators. Number 4, function call. And number 5, how to reference a cell. Alright guys, we'll discuss another topic on our tutorial. Now this time we will take up types of Excel cell entry. Now normally there are main category of entries in Excel. Text from A to Z, capitalized and small letters, and small symbols. These are machine generated through the Windows interface. Okay, we have also numbers. Numbers includes digits 0 to 9, and that includes also decimal point, currency symbol, and separators. Now we have also formula. Now the formula is the most complex entry in Excel. This is used in the calculations of different informations. Excel is designed for calculations. It is used in different areas, in different fields, in mathematics, sciences, aeronautics, education, engineering. Okay, so those are areas where Excel is being applied for. Now we have also date entry. Now for entering text, we normally use the keyboard. So in our keyboard we can enter letters and digits. By the way, text is actually alphanumeric combinations of letters and numbers. But they are not used in the calculation. Let's say my cat, then you may use symbol to represent the cat. Okay, for example this one, and then click insert. So now we are entering the combinations of informations, letter, and special symbol. Now for the number, that represents numerical information. So we can enter number like this, and then you can put decimal point. So that represents numerical information. Numerical data are used in calculations. That's the work of Excel. So in a formula, it's a combination of number constant, mathematical operators, function call, and cell reference. So this is a very complex information that you can enter into Excel. It involves different operators and function calls and cells reference. So Excel is designed for calculating formula. It is good for that operation. So in entering, that will be the formula. That will be our next topic. So okay, let's proceed. Now we will enter the formula in a way that is valid in Excel. Okay, so let's say we have simple formula 3 or 4. So this is a representation of a very simple mathematical operation. Now in Excel we have to type in equals and then followed by the formula itself, then enter. Okay, that's how we can enter formula, simple or complex, in Excel. Okay, so let's have it. Okay, and then press enter. So that will be the result of the calculation. So you could no longer see the formula but the result of the calculation. So if you are going to look at the original formula, just look at the formula bar. So it is where the actual formula will be presented, while on the cell it is the result of the calculations. Okay, now we have different operators. This is symbol for divide. Now we have also subtract. Now this type of formula is a combination of two operators and numbers. Okay, let's enter it. Okay, so as usual, type in equals. Okay, just follow the formula on our screen and then press enter. Okay, so the result is 9. Now on the first formula there is only one operator, so the number is being divided by other number. Now on the second formula there are two expressions already. We have the one that is represented by subtract and the one that is represented by divide. Now there's a sequence for that in the calculations. So mathematically speaking, there are rules to be followed in the calculations. Now in this expression there are two, one that is involved in subtract and the other involved in divide. So the rules states that division must come first and then followed by subtractions. That's the correct sequence in the evaluation. Okay, so we have 2 divided by 2 and then the result will be used to subtract that value from 10. So another calculation for that is the result of this will be subtracted from 10. So 10 minus 1, so that's why the result is 9. So now that's the way how Excel works. Okay, so let's discuss another way of entering formula into Excel. Now this time we will use the complex type of mathematical expression. Now in this example we have symbols for divide, add, subtract and multiply. Then we have also parentheses. So in calculations, Excel will follow what we call precedence of operators. Now in this complex operation, we have a parenthesized expression involved in the formula. Now the parenthesis means you are grouping the expression as one calculations. Okay, so there are three main operations involved. The one involved in the parenthesized expression, then this addition and division. So in Excel normally we will enter the formula the same as the previous one. Okay, so okay, then followed by plus and then parentheses 20, subtract, then the multiplication symbol in computer is the asterisk. So when you represent divide instead of X, so we will use the symbol, the special symbol asterisk to signify multiply. Okay. So that's the complex expression that will be evaluated by computer. Okay, so that's the result. So again, the result is not is found in your cell, but the actual formula is in the formula bar. Now Excel does the calculation. First, it will do the operation inside parentheses. Okay, so it will do multiplication first and then followed by subtraction, and then the result of this operation will be used in the outside expression that involves plus and division. Okay, so how does it become 33? Let's do it. Okay, now in the rows of precedence, the parenthesized expression will be done first. Okay, so we will do the parenthesized expression first. So that's 20 divided subtract 3 and then multiply 4. So the result is 8. Okay, so that will be the result of the calculations of the parenthesis expression. Now that 8 will be used in the outside expression. So the value 8, say 50 divided by 2 plus 8. Okay, so the computer will do the division first and then followed by addition. So whatever the result of the division, then added with 8. Okay, so 25, the result of 50 over 2 is 25 plus 8 equals 33. So that's how the complex formula is being calculated in Excel. It follows the sequence of precedence. Okay, so the parenthesized expression will be done first, then the result will be added to the outside expression, and then the expression also, the outside expression will be evaluated according to the rows and precedence. So division comes first, then followed by addition. Okay, so that's how the formula is being calculated in a complex expression. It follows the rule in mathematics. Okay, so let's proceed. Now we have the precedence of operators. The precedence of operators tells the Microsoft Access the process of evaluating the expressions. So we have on the priority list, the parenthesized expressions is the top, then followed by multiply and divide, and the third, the add and subtract. So the evaluations of the formula will be based on this precedence of operators. Now if the two expressions are of the same sequence, just like this multiply and divide, the formula is evaluated from left to right. Okay, so on this side we have this example. Now we have 3 plus 6 minus 1. Plus and minus are of the same level of precedence. Since they are of the same level, they must be evaluated from left to right. So if we enter this formula, 3 plus 6 will be evaluated first, then followed by minus 1. So whatever the result of 3 plus 6 will be subtracted by 1. So that's the sequence of evaluation on this expression. So the answer must be 8. So 3 plus 6, that's 9, minus 1, so the result is 8. Now on the second example, we have 8 minus 4 plus 3. So they have the same level of precedence because they are the subtract and add are on the same line of precedence. So 8 minus 4, that is 4, plus 3, that's the result is 7. Okay, so let's try. Minus 4 plus 3. Okay, so the result is 7. Now in this example, we are using the multiply and divide. Now take note that in a computer, multiplication is being represented by the asterisk on your keyboard. So multiplication and divisions are of the same level of precedence, so they must be evaluated from left to right. Okay, so 4 times 3, that's 12, divided by 2, so the answer must be 6. Okay, let's try. Okay, 4 times 3 divided by 2. Okay, so the result is 6. Now this one, so let's try this: division and multiplication. Now in this example, 2 divided by 3 must be done first, and then followed by multiplication process. So the result is different from the first one. Okay? 2 divided by 3, that's point something, and then times 4. Okay, that's 2.66. Okay, so in the last example, we have the parenthesized expression. Now the parenthesized expression will be done first, even though that expression 6 minus 2 has the lowest precedence. So the parentheses will override the normal sequence of evaluation. So this must be done first. So 6 minus 2, that's 4, and then the result will be placed for the outside expression. So 3 times 5, that's 15, minus 4, that's 11. Okay, so let's try it. 3, that's 3 times 5, then minus, followed by parentheses, minus 2, and then close parentheses. Okay, so the result is 11. So the parentheses makes the lower precedence much higher in terms of evaluation. Okay, so let's go back to types of Excel cell entry. Now in a formula, we have what we call a function call and cells reference. Now let's take up first cells reference. Now the worksheet is being organized as collections of rows and columns. Now in each cell has a name. Okay, so when referring to a certain cell, we will use the name of an Excel. So how would you define a name, or would you get the name of an Excel cell? So just refer to the column caption. Okay, so this is column G and row 4. So in naming an Excel cell, we will use the name, the column first and followed by the row. So it has a name of G4. Okay, so this cell has a name of G4, or the cell address is G4. Okay, so when you look at this name box, so it has a value of G4, meaning the cell pointer is located on G4. So it has a name. The cell has a name or an address, or we can use that name as a reference for that particular location in a formula. So we put a value of 4. Okay, this cell has a value 4, and then if we will refer to that value of a certain cell and then place that value into this particular location, so we will access that cell to its name. Okay, as usual, you put equals to signify the beginning of a formula. So if you want to access the location of G4, just write G4 in your formula. So G4 refers to the location of this cell. So in effect, the formula will get the value of G4 and put this value into this location. Okay, so this is the location of that value, which is G4, and then G4 is being referenced by this cell to its formula. Okay, so the name is being used, so we are referring to that value by using the name, or we are referencing to the cell address. Okay, now let's say we'll put another value for this location. Okay, the location is L4, no? So L4 has a value of 6. Now we can use the cell address in our formula. Okay, let's say we will multiply both the G4 and L4. So we are using the address of these two cells. G4 has a value of 4 and L4 has a value of 6. So therefore, the result would be 24. Okay, so we are in a formula, we are using the address of a particular cell. Okay, so a formula can be combinations of numbers, mathematical operators, and cells reference. So in this example, we are multiplying both the value of G4 and L4 and then place that value into this location, which is L8. Now in our formula, we can also include function call. Now function in a computer, it is actually a set of program that returns a value. Now Excel has many kinds of different functions. Okay, so we have functions for financial, logical, text, date and time, lookup, reference, math trigonometry, and other functions. Okay, so in a function call, we will use its name. Okay, so in the formula, use equals, and then let's say we have a function named pi to return a numerical value for the pi. Okay, pi constant, and then now let's say we want to get the integer part of this value. So we have the integral part of 5.9 is 5. That's the integral part of 5.9. No? Okay, now we have another example of, now if you want to round, say 8.98, and then we want to round that up as a whole number. So okay, so 8.9 is rounded to 9. Okay, another function. Okay, the function example is today. So this function call is to get the current date. So current date is 325 2021. Okay, so that's the value of the current date. So in a formula, you can use numbers, mathematical operators, function calls, sales reference. Okay guys, our discussion for this episode has ended. But before I close, so let's recap. We have discussed about types of cell entry, how to enter formula, the precedence of operators, the function calls, and sales reference. This is Genius Asenas serving you. Thank you and bye-bye.